What's up, guys? Soon to be Dr. G with Gallagher Farm and Ranch. And mostly today I'm just going to talk about vet school and where we're at. With that, I don't really have very much update for the garden and stuff. I did get a really great haul this week. That's kind of awesome. I made some zucchini relish, so I've got videos on that coming out for you guys. But for the most part, we're just kind of trying to keep everything alive through the summer and the hotness that's going on here. So let's see, vet school, where are we at? Sorry, we got otter bombed. I don't know, like otter, so some of Bailey's little buddies dropped off a box of otter pops, and it says you've been otter bombed, love, such and such, and I think it's really cute. It just caught me off guard, but I think it's really cute. Anyway, so, Bailey is at the cousins, or with the cousins this weekend. Daniel has unfortunately been sick all week, and so it has been kind of rough in the evenings and such, but I'm super excited because last week I had said that we got a house, and that was kind of the thing that we were working on, was trying to get a house, and we finally had just kind of, I hate to say settled on a house that wasn't necessarily like our number one choice by any means, but it was something, it was close to the school, and I was just happy to have that off of our to-do list. So anyway, as we were in the process of trying to pay for the deposit and stuff, we literally paid the deposit on the house, and then Ryan goes to look at the address again, and the house we had really wanted 2 weeks ago was back on the market for rental, and we were like, are you kidding me? Like, we just paid the deposit on this. So we called up real quick, and they had to do some, requesting and special request stuff and things like that, but we were actually able to get the house we really, really, really wanted, and so I'm super excited. It's actually 4-bedroom, which is fantastic, because we've been wanting to separate the boys' bed space, like sleeping and clothing space, from their gaming and play space, and so that'll be really nice that we can kind of make like an electronics space where they can do their videos and things like that, and then also have like a space that's just for them to sleep and such. And that's mostly because I feel like there's something crawling on me. Nope, just grass tickling my feet. Anyway, that's mostly because, I hate to say it, it's not fair when they go to clean their room, and it causes a lot of fights, and it's just not fights I'm willing to deal with right now. I'm going to have a lot of other things to take care of and deal with, so I'm like, well, if we can just separate things out, and then that way I can, only have to worry about cleaning, per se, one space as the quote playroom, that'll hopefully be better. Now, is this going to be proven? Have I had people tell me it probably won't work? Yes, I have, but am I going to try it anyway? Absolutely, because that's how I work. So, we're really excited, because now we can do that. And then, Bailey's room is just going to be Bailey's room, and it's always kind of chaotic and crazy, and eventually, of course, Daniel will move into her room with her, but for the moment, we're excited. It's a 4-bedroom, it has a great yard for Gabby, it actually even has a pool with a fence, which, that's definitely cool. We have an above ground, little, summertime pool that we have here that we've put in, but this one is an actual in-ground pool, and it is fenced. That was kind of one of the things that I definitely wanted. So anyway, regardless, it's everything we possibly wanted, and it's actually cheaper than the 3-bedroom house that we were kind of like, do we have to? So we're very, very excited on that front. So this week we did all the celebrations and everything, and now we are in full-on pack mode. Ryan's starting to pack all his train stuff. I'm getting all my work stuff packed up that I'm not going to need for the next couple of months. We're loading those things into the van, and we're going to take that and go to Tucson here in a few days, and then start getting the house situated. I'm actually really excited that, this is going to sound silly, but Amazon and Walmart both have their, discount days or whatever coming up, and I'm like, perfect timing, because I'll get to go see the house and then know what I want to get or what I need to get. We're not moving beds or any of that, because the kids are on a old bunk bed set, and it actually broke, and so we had to rebuild the base of it basically, and honestly it's just not gonna be worth moving at this point. And then Bailey's bed was purchased for her room, and it's cute and all, but it's not like a super fancy bed or anything, and we want to make sure that when we come back here for holidays and stuff, we do have some options for sleeping, because we will come back here for like Christmas and things like that, just to make sure we see friends and people. But anyway, that's where we're at with that. So I was gifted a whole bunch of scrubs. I will probably do a video of the new scrub tops I got. They are so cute, and I'm so excited about them. Yeah, I can't even describe them, but they're really fun. We've been trying to, like, in our class chat, talking about, like, the different things, because we have this huge list of, like, to-dos, things we've got to get, stuff, like, all my surgical equipment. So when I get all that stuff, I'll show you guys, too. I'm actually this is going to sound silly, but my dad's a dentist, if you guys don't know that. And, he put all of his office stuff kind of packed up, and I am kind of going through all of it to see what I can find that he already has, so that I'll have to buy it. So some things he already has, and so that's really great. Here's Ryan watering. Anyway, and then I've got to get the rest of my surgical stuff. Woo, that just got me. And then I have to get like special shoes and special scrubs for different things, but for the most part, I get to wear whatever I want. So I will share those with you guys. And just because they're super, super cute. And then I also got a couple pairs of overalls for when I have farm days. Why is you so grumpy?
Me?
You look scaly.
I'm all wet.
Apparently he's all wet.
One of our
Hold on.
farm this belongs in the bottom of the water trough.
Oh, well, that was probably not on purpose. Hey guys. So I was editing this video for this week and getting ready to share it, and I kind of had to stop, and the reason being is that there's like a jump from where I'm talking about us picking and moving and doing the things, and then where we're in Tucson and we are building furniture and so on. And it's originally my intention for this week's video was to have a couple of clips of us like loading the van and loading the trailer and that kind of stuff, and then that all went to hell in a handbasket. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. So shortly after the clip that just ended, we went back in the house, we were working on things, and Ryan was a little agitated. As you could tell, maybe in the end of that clip, he was a little on the like flustered side, and I was like, huh. And so I cut the clip, and then we came inside afterwards, and he was still just a little flustered, and I could tell that something was going on, but I couldn't tell what. And I kind of just figured that it was, overall stress of the move. Like, moving is stressful, packing is stressful. Well, so then the next day was the day that like we kind of had to get things loaded up into the van, and to say that all hell broke loose is like an understatement. Actually, it was such a triggering day for him and such a negative experience, and it set him into such a spiral, just getting the van loaded, that we actually ended up having to call and go to the resource center, and we had to completely cancel all of our moving plans. Okay, so thankfully we are in a place where we have resources, and we have it's actually a place called Encompass Health here, and they have crisis management. And so once I realized that Ryan was kind of in the cycle or spin that I couldn't get him out of or help him to get out of on his own, we did have to go to that resource center, and it was a long day. We spent about 5 hours there trying to help him kind of get back to, I don't want to say reality, because that makes it sound like he was delusional, and it's not a delusion. But it's his reality. In his mind, he was failing. He was just failing at everything, and therefore that made him worthless as a person. That made him unacceptable as a husband, and he was angry, just so incredibly angry, and he couldn't stop being angry. And he literally was saying to me, I shouldn't be this angry. I have no reason to be this angry. And it was taking every single bit of his being to kind of maintain control. And so when I realized how bad he actually was struggling, that resource center was just the only option, and there was a few things that kind of showed me that we were at the point of needing the resource center, and it wasn't just something that we needed to work through ourselves. So one of the things that I have come to notice is a sign and I want to say symptom for me, when he's really spiraling to a point that, like, no matter what I say, it's not going to help, and I do have to have like a third person involved, is when he mixes up dates or events. And the thing is, Ryan is very smart. He's very, very smart. And so he also remembers things really well as far as like when they happened. And so when he's talking to me or he's frustrated or angry and all of a sudden he swaps things out, I know that mentally he is in a different space. And that's a space that I can't help him get out of. This is something over the last 2-3 years that, like, his TBI has kind of created this, like, other circuit route, I want to say. I don't know. It's weird. That's what it seems like to me. It's like, this is normal function. And then all of a sudden when he gets into one of these spirals, it goes like this, right? Instead. And so, like, he has the events, but they're bouncing back and forth or something. I don't know. I can't describe it, but better than that. But anyway, so for me, when he's really struggling and then all of a sudden he says something and I'm like, oh, that's not how that happened. And not just like a difference of opinion of the event, but like a straight up, like, he'll say this happened and then this happened and then this happened. And that's not how it went down at all. That's when I know that he's got other things going on and I need to go get him help. So anyway, he was saying he was really angry. He couldn't figure out why. He was holding it together really well. And then we realized that he had started a new med about a week prior. And that medication, like, ever since he had started using it, was just causing him problems. And he could tell that he was flustered and struggling, and so he had been actually playing and kind of coping. He'd been playing his farm simulator game a lot, and I thought it was just like he was coping with the stress of the actual move itself. But no, he was super angry and he couldn't figure out why, and he didn't really have. So this is going to sound silly, but like, over the last 2-3 years, one of the things that we've really had to work with for him is anger was really the only emotion he had. Like, that was it. And everything kind of came off as an anger. And so now we've been able to decipher, right, for him and help him to put words to, I'm not angry, I'm actually hurt. I'm not angry, I'm actually tired. I'm not angry, I'm actually anxious. I'm not angry, I am feeling overwhelmed. All those different things. These are vocabulary that, like, obviously he knew what the words meant, but he didn't have the relation to the word to be able to explain it to somebody else. So he's done really good about learning how to recognize what the emotion he actually is having is. So for all intents and purposes, all of a sudden he's angry and he's trying to sort why he's angry and he's trying to figure out what's causing it, and he just couldn't. And so he just figured, okay, I just need to be able to get through. And so he started playing his farm game. His farm game is a game that does not have a winner or a loser. It is a participation only game. And so it's a really great coping mechanism for him when he's feeling overwhelmed, because it's very calm, it's very casual, there's no adrenaline push with it. It's, you just sit and play. And so anyway, I had just assumed he was playing this because it was, kind of helping him to de-stress a bit. Turns out, for the last few days prior to this, he had been playing it so much because he was so angry and he couldn't figure out how to articulate what he was feeling and so on. So all of a sudden we come to this peak because we've got stress on top of it. He can't use the game as a coping mechanism because he obviously has to physically move things, organize things, and so on. And so now all of a sudden he no longer has the coping skill or the tools to deal with that anger. And he was just like, I'm so angry and I shouldn't be, and I can't do this, and I can't. And so we ended up at the resource center with the crisis team, and come to after literally about 5 hours, we determined that it all kind of culminated with the start of this new med. Once he took the med away, literally within 24 hours of taking the last dose he took, he was back to being him. Like, I mean, it was pretty much that fast. And so, it was hard because every single plan that we had got thrown out the window, and everything we had intended to do was no longer an option because he just wasn't in a place to do it. And that happens. And when you have someone who has a TBI and has, emotional, mental health, issues and so on, like sometimes that's how it goes. And so we ended up, instead of taking the van and going, I was supposed to fly to Vegas. We were going to pick up the kid. It was a mess. It was a whole mess. Okay. Had to cancel a plane flight. I had to cancel, it was a thing. Instead of doing any of that, we ended up just going to Tucson in the regular blue van, and we just put together furniture that was already ordered to there. So now we're moving into next week. We literally have 1 week left to move, and there is not a single thing moved from the house in Page. So unfortunately, that means things are a little more stressful for me. That's just kind of how this goes when you have someone who has these, outstanding issues. But it'll be okay. And it sucks. It sucks that we've had to change plans. It sucks that we had to do things differently. It sucks that now we're kind of rushed a little bit on the end of things. But by that same token, the nice thing is if there's anything we don't get moved, it's not like Paige is that far away. It's not like people don't have the ability to come visit us and bring things to us. It just sucks that now we're feeling a little more rushed. Which I don't mean that oh my gosh, we have to move tomorrow. Not like that. Just instead of it being kind of casual over the course of 2-3 trips, which is what it was originally supposed to be, we have opted, with the help of my mother-in-law, she's going to get us a U-Haul truck. And then my dad is going to come down with us to help drive, because that's a big part of the problem is that, Ryan can't drive all the way through Flagstaff and stuff. The trees trigger his vertigo. And so taking 2 vehicles is a problem. There's just a lot of moving parts now. So we're trying to sort that out. But in the meantime, we did make it to Tucson. We did get our kids as buddies, so they're just going to be with us for a little bit longer than we had anticipated. And now we are moving with a moving truck, which has its own trials, but all of our friends here in Page are at least in a place to help us. And so I've got a couple friends coming to help me pack today, and then when the truck gets here on Wednesday, which will be part of next week's video, they're going to come and help us actually physically load the truck. So, yeah, it's a thing. But I just wanted to share that because I feel like it's important for you guys to see the not so great side, right? The gardens look great. The house looks great. Everything looks fantastic. But there are a lot of things that we have to work around because of the mental health stuff, and the TBI really is the one that kind of gets to us, because it just sometimes puts him in a place where his brain's just not wanting to circuit the right way. And when we do have to try new medications like we did last week, we don't know what to expect. And it can be, a week or 2 before we really fully understand what that medication is doing or not doing or whatever. And it is hard. It's just hard. It's hard for him. It's hard for us. And we have to really just be mindful and work together as a team to make sure that we garner success. And anyway, so there's no loading of trucks. That's going to be next week's video instead. And instead you're going to get to enjoy watching us put the furniture and the rest of the house together. And then, next week's episode will be how the move went. Here's to hoping we don't have to call in the crisis line. The good news is our crisis counselor is available on both Tuesday and Wednesday. So we have our regular appointment with our counselor on Tuesday so we can do a check-in. And then on Wednesday, if things go sideways, we've got help again. So not gonna lie, I'm a little anxious about the move because I don't have these resources there established yet. So I'm definitely a little anxious about it. But point being, remember that, everything can look really great and perfect on the outside, and there's a lot going on that you don't know about. So we are very sharing of our story. I asked Ryan from day one if he was okay with sharing it. And I think that it's important to know that he has given permission because he recognizes that we are not alone in this kind of a struggle. There are a lot of other people who have veteran husbands or spouses that go through very similar things. TBIs are very misunderstood. CPTSD is very misunderstood. Mental health is very misunderstood. And it doesn't make him any less of a person. It doesn't make him, quote, broken or anything like that. It's just that he has challenges that we have to work around. And so knowing those challenges is really great. And when we do know them, like for instance, the drive, we can put measures in place. But sometimes we don't know what the challenge is until it gets to us. And that can be hard because it can completely reroute your entire everything. And that's basically what's happened this time. So anyway, back to the building and the fun and the new house. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tour because I'm going to share the new house with you before the end of this video as well. Super excited to share this with you. We have been working the last 2 or 3 days to get furniture and things built. Ironically, we actually do not own furniture. We had like a little bedroom set in Beatty, but past that, everything else was either built in, belonged to my parents, or somebody else gave it to us for free. But really, even then, we like have a couch, and the kids had a really cheap bed set that we had bought them when we first moved to Page, just so they had something. So I'm excited to show you guys the house, the bed sets, the things that we're working on, and also just kind of give you a tour of the new house because I personally think it is amazing and it's everything that we could have possibly wanted. The only thing that I don't like is this tree. This is a mesquite tree. It's a gorgeous tree, actually. The problem is I'm super, super, super definitely allergic to mesquite trees. So anyway, come with me as we tour the new house. All right, so coming in, we have this really awesome open room. This is actually going to be Ryan's training room. We just got him this new desk here. You can see the kids have all been here. We just had to clean the whole house because it was crazy. They have been building forts and so on. But we got a baby play yard for over here so that Daniel can be in here while Ryan is working on trains. And we have a chair that we'll probably put here in Page. But you can see this is a really large, awesome room. That'll be great for Ryan. It's gonna really give him a space. And then coming this way, we have a laundry room, and then that goes into the garage. And then if you keep coming this way, and actually I just wanna show you guys this because I think it's really awesome. Let me scoot back again. But the whole house has these things, and like while my first instinct is, oh my gosh, dust, up here in the top. It actually is really kind of cool because it does make it a little bit feel more open. So you come down the hallway, you come into the kitchen. And so this is our little kitchenette that, like, in our world is a kitchenette because my mom's kitchen is huge, but it's actually bigger than our kitchen in Beatty, so it works. And then we just bought this. This is probably my biggest pride and joy piece of furniture I've ever purchased in my life. I'm super excited about it. You can see there's still a bench to be put together, but it had the dishwasher and this brand new fridge, so I'm super excited because all the appliances and stuff are great. And of course, what kind of barista would I be without a espresso machine? So we just got that. And then I went ahead and got some benches to make this a little bit of a breakfast nook. It's not really a breakfast, I'm sorry, not breakfast nook, but a breakfast bar. But I think it'll work and it'll be good for when we have just kind of quick things. My actual thought with this setup is that if I host like a study group or something, there's more than enough room for everybody to sit. So then this is the living room, and it's got this really great built-in bookshelf, TV, entertainment center thing. The previous house, the 3-bedroom house that we really didn't want, was like, you can't make any holes in the walls, you can't drill anything in. So this one is actually perfectly fine, and we can mount the TV on the wall here. And then, of course, we're going to get a couch for in here, but my mother-in-law picked that out. She sent us a couple ideas. I told her which ones I liked, and then she took care of that as a gift for us, as a moving-in gift. So I'm really excited and super grateful. So coming this way, all right, so just to give you guys an idea, kitchen here, this is a pantry. It's really cool, just kind of very simple, basic, but pantry nonetheless. Makes it nice because, like, things are right there and easy, and it's not super deep. I don't know if you guys run into that, but I don't like super deep pantries because then I can't find stuff and I forget what's in there. So then coming this way, there's another one of those pantry closets. This is a coat closet, and then this is going to be the boys' bedroom. So we got 2 of these desks. The issue we're running into with this is that the fan is right here, and so the concern is when the kids go to climb up the bed, they're going to hit their heads on the fan, and so we might get a different ladder to put on the ends of their bed and just let those be shelving racks, but we'll see. And then we have a second one to put here, but we just ran out of time, honestly. They have a cute little tree, so they don't feel like they're blocked in by a wall, and then this here is a closet, just like anybody else's. Okay, so trying not to make you guys dizzy, sorry. All right, so bathroom is here. This is Bailey's room. Eventually Daniel will be in here as well. So they actually have the bigger room of the 3 kid rooms. The reason for that is that they will not have a space like the boys. So the boys, most of their, quote, toys these days are gaming system related, computer, tablet, that stuff. And so the kids in here will still have toys. So we wanted to give them as much space as we could. But these beds are really cool because they have, okay, trying not to make you guys dizzy. I'm sorry, there's a lot of moving. But they have this little rack here. They have a 3 set of drawers there, so like Bailey can put her craft things in that. The boys can use theirs for Legos or whatever they want to do. And then they've got these 2. And as you can see, Bailey's already started displaying her Legos. And the idea being that hopefully it'll help to keep them kind of off the ground and kind of out of reach of friends and kids when they come in. Okay, so then have a little almost Jack and Jill bathroom, but not quite. It's, traditional bathroom, nothing crazy. And it's got a shower, bathtub combo over there. We're still working on putting the, curtains and stuff up. I have a little blue butterfly set I got on clearance, so I'm pretty excited. I was like, hot dang, a deal. So then we come back in the living room, and there is another closet, second hallway-ish thing. So, like I said, kind of a Jack and Jill, because you can then get into the bathroom on this side as well. And then there's this room. So this is actually a hide-a-bed. It is a couch that has this bottom part here will pull out, and then it becomes a whole queen bed. So that's pretty cool. It makes it nice because we can use this room as a spare guest room if we want. Closet as well. And eventually this will be, I don't want to say man cave because girls can play games too, but a man cave of sorts. I may put the computer in here, that, you know, because we use that for gaming. I also use it for work stuff though, so I'm not sure if that'll happen, but we're thinking about it. And then the main idea with this room is to make it so that all the gaming stuff is in one place and we can actually lock the door. So we're going to get a different handle that locks from the outside. And the reason for that, like with a key, and so the reason with that is that then we can lock it up if the kids are like grounded from it or something, and, you know, kind of help ourselves as far as that goes. So then in here is our room. Very high ceiling, as you can see. And then we've got a lot of space on this side. So I'm probably going to actually get a second desk or something for over here. The closet is huge, so I don't think we're gonna need a proper like dresser. We tend to hang most of our stuff anyway, so normally a dresser would go here. But I think instead I might get a desk and put it over here just so I have a space for that. And then as you come this way, sorry again, that's another closet, just like the pantry one. So you come here, and then that takes you into our bathroom, which is a shower and a bathtub with a double sink. And then the toilet, which is my favorite, is actually in its own little man cave. Now that I will call a man cave. And then from there, we've got a huge walk-in closet. Let me see if I can show you guys. Whew, that was bright, sorry. But this is like, literally, I think this thing is the size of our actual, like, bedroom, our full bathroom in the other house, like our house in Beatty. So it's huge. And then also, just because I like to share my deals, I got that bucket on clearance at Walmart as well. And I was like, that is 100% my motif. And then in here, we have that built in too. So that's really cool. And then there's actually a seat, which, in this shower, which, for those of you that are like weirdos, don't be weird. But it's actually really nice for Ryan and I, because we both have like weird, I want to say medical things. So I have blood pressure drops when I'm in really hot environments. And so like that first initial transition from like the cooler to the hotter, it's like especially showers or when I go from inside to outside, I will have a blood pressure drop, and it takes me a few minutes to kind of transition. And so if I don't have a way to sit down or something, then my blood pressure falls out from under me and I get super dizzy, and then I can fall over, and it's just not a good time. So having the ability to go and sit down and not have to worry about falling over that first few minutes is really great. And then Ryan, of course, just has his vertigo and stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that is the house. I'm going to turn off lights as we go back out here. Maybe, because the lights are really hard to figure out in this house. And then that leads us into the living room again, and then here into the backyard. And the backyard needs some love. It is a bigger backyard, like for the area especially. So there used to be grass in here, and the problem is this sand is super, super hot. So like we can't let the kids play on it in the middle of the day at all. But we're super excited because over here, these folks have a lemon tree that falls like on our side. And so we'll definitely be able to make some lemon curd this year and such. You can see the lemons are already coming in. Bailey actually thought they were limes and got super excited. But there's the lemons. And then the only kind of weird thing is the way that these yards are like positioned. They're higher up, but the wall is actually shorter for them. So like they can totally see into our yard, which is weird. But you know, I guess that's a city thing. Who knows? I don't know. It's weird to me, but I'm, I guess, really used to like private stuff. I don't know. So anyway, coming back in the house. This is what it looks like. And like I was saying, up here, I really love this all. You know, if I was a lady that collected like holiday decor all over the place, like I'd be able to display it everywhere and it'd be awesome. But I'm not. I'm the person that like barely collects any holiday stuff, and you're lucky if I decorate it all. So anyway, it's coming along. We're excited. Lots of really great features in this house. Lots of really cool stuff that we haven't had before that we were really excited about having and wanting. Like the game room, for instance, is definitely one that we really were excited about and kind of bummed. That was one of the big bummers for us with the 3-bedroom house, was not being able to have that. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the house tour. We will be bringing plants with us. We've got, things that we've potted to be able to bring them here. And then we've also got like our herbs and stuff like that we keep inside, a couple house plants. So we'll bring those with us, kind of make it a little more homey. It is definitely very loud in here because there's no furniture currently. But I think as we get things more moved in, well, there's very little furniture. But I think as we get things moved in, get our stuff up on the walls, that kind of stuff, it'll get a lot better. But the main thing is everybody has space. And so we're really very cool. Sorry, our kids are super excited about the fact that is the piano here. Did it show up?
No.
Oh.
We got that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There's a piano coming today at some point, and it's raining, and I was hoping it would get here before we left. Okay, go get in the car and get ready, girls. Anyway, what I was saying is that we are hoping that because we don't have the farm space to just be like, go outside, go play, go do this, a lot more has to occur inside, that this will still give us all space that we need. So, on the farm, it was really easy for everybody to kind of find their hidey hole and their sanctuary space because there was 26 some odd acres, 28 acres, whatever, of space. And so you just go find your spot. You can get a break, you can get away. Here, we have to really be intentional about those spaces. And especially knowing that we all kind of have our triggers, we all have our things. We're really, really trying to be mindful of that and create an environment that allows us all to be successful. So my mother-in-law actually was super sweet yesterday. She sent me a text message and she goes, so where's your space at? I showed her the kids' space and I showed her Ryan's space, and I wasn't really sure where my space was going to be. But honestly, I kind of figure I'm not going to be here most of the time. I'm going to be at school. And so my focus was really getting the kids all and Ryan, like, their places to be successful. And so it was actually nice to have someone like point out the fact that like I needed a space too. So now I am intentionally trying to figure out how I'm going to make part of our bedroom a space for me. So I'm gonna do that. But it was one of those where, it's funny, as the mom, you always kind of put yourself like on the back burner and are worried about everyone else. And so it was nice to have a mom to consider that for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are really looking forward to it. Pray for us next week because we have a lot of moving to still do. And like I said at the beginning of this video, moving is stressful, brings out all the triggers, all the things, and we really have to be able to move with the issues and move with the problems and the things. So we are really trying to do that. I'm trying really hard to find patience in all of this and to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for that success and also making it so that like it's a good transition, it's a positive transition, and it doesn't feel rushed, it doesn't feel hurried, it doesn't feel bad and negative, because our previous moves have pretty much all been kind of that way. So we're really trying to make this a positive encounter and make sure everybody's really happy and excited as we're moving towards it. Still hard, but positive. So anyway, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining us for this week's update. See you later.